Yo, what is up, my people? Today I'm bringing you my rifle build. I've been asked for this build for like the last few weeks. I've been working on so many different builds, so many guides, and I hope you enjoy. I feel like right now rifles are probably the strongest in the game, and in this video right here I'm going to show you why. Okay, thank you.
Rogue agent detected.
All right, what's up? So in this video, my basic goal is to just show you how to do tons of damage, my preferred builds. So I'm gonna go through like 3 builds right here. All right, my people, so here we are. This is our build, and in this build we're basically using our favorite 2 weapons right here. Right now, my Nemesis and the classic M1A has always been a favorite of mine. The reason I haven't put out a video like before this is for a few reasons. One of the reasons is because I feel like this gun is overperforming, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but I also feel like I've seen like tons of people using it in the dark zone. I've seen shield users for like weeks now, and it's just an insane build. And you know, I didn't want to be that toxic, right? But yo, forget it. The toxicness is open. And yeah, as you saw in the first few seconds of this video, you absolutely destroy players, basically 1 to 2 shotting them. It's something I've been trying to like kind of stay away from. And this is the build that I used in the dark zone, and I literally killed every single person I encountered. And I've been using this with Technician. It's kind of weird to some of you veteran gamers, but I have every other class maxed out, so I'm working on my Technician, and having a scope that literally gives me a pulse is amazing, right? So Technician, I like it so far. I'm trying to level it, and yeah, just rifle damage, marksman damage on whatever tree you prefer. The best tree, well, actually the best in slot for this build would be right here, and that would be easy because you would have the 3 named items that are the best in slot currently. One of them being the gloves that give you damage to armor, one of them being the knee pads that give you damage to out of cover, and lastly the mask that is a dark zone exclusive, giving you damage to health. So these are the best 3 in slots. I suggest using a perfect focus, but any focus will do really. And what this talent is going to do right now is it's going to give you 60% extra damage while you're scoped with an 8 times. You have to stay scoped with the 8 times, and I'll show you how that works right now. And then a holster for crit chance, so you could try to get your crit chance up to at least 50-60%, and that's going to tremendously help you when you're doing DPS, right? So if we come over here, I'll show you real quick. What you're going to want to do is, in my opinion, you're going to want to be in cover most of the time. That way your talents can proc like boomerang. So basically what's happening is on the bottom of my screen, you're going to see like binoculars. And when those binoculars are fully leveled in, they're going to do basically 60% more weapon damage, right? And we also rocking vigilance for that 25% extra weapon damage, giving us an insane amount of weapon damage. And I like to use it like this just to proc my boomerang, right? You can see it on the left side, boomerang procking, which means that the ammo is going back to my mag, and I'm getting a 40% weapon damage on that, right? On that shot, which makes it amazing right here. So critical hits have 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If a bullet is refunded to the magazine, the next shot has 40% increased damage. All right. I also rock a sniper with this as my exotic. You can rock whatever you want. I like this because if I hold my shot, it gives me 100% weapon damage based on how long I hold that trigger, right, before releasing. And it doesn't like self-shoot anymore like in previous patches, so it's really useful. But yeah, this is probably the best. Like if you're a hardcore grinder, this is definitely going to be the best build for you as far as like damage wise. I personally like to switch it up, and I've been using this build right here, leveling my Technician up. It works really well. The scope is phenomenal for me, and I love posting enemies. But I would suggest, like, you know, using a sharpshooter for sure. I'm using the 30% scope. If you use sharpshooter, you get that 45% headshot damage scope. And yeah, when I'm not like trying to be in front of people, I can basically just use this without a shield, right? But the instance like a bunch of enemies come, this shield is going to be your friend. Now, the reason that the shield is your friend is because you keep this buff while you are basically behind the shield, right? It's an aiming down scope buff that gives you 60% damage, and you keep it when you are behind the shield right now. So I feel like this is a broken talent, and many other people do too. Shout out to my boy Wids putting this up like a few weeks ago, I believe, or a week ago. I'm not too sure how long ago, but it is super powerful, and for sure, in my opinion, one of the best rifle talents to use. And you know, until they fix that up a little bit, I would suggest you using it too, right? So right here we have headshot damage and crit. We're rocking the 2 Providence. This is my preferred setup, right? Going for that nice little crit as much as I can get. 54%, 117% headshot. Crit damage is pretty decent. It could be a lot better if you wanted to like spec into crit damage personally, right? I'm rocking a 2 Araldi for that headshot damage. And once again, you just want to go for whatever you prefer. It could be crit or headshot. I like crit personally, and I have some headshot mixed in there too. And yeah, the perfect talent, you rocking 2 of those. The 2 best in slots are, in my opinion, the best. And then this is what I like to use when I'm solo. Also, another build for group play. If you want to buff up your teams, I would suggest running it like this. And right here I have 2 Araldi for that headshot damage and marksman damage. You could also rock a Providence if you have like a better Providence piece, because that'll give you the same amount of headshot damage, right? It just matters like what piece you have that's better, and that will still work like this, right? And then we have our little crit, and we're getting a 33% crit. We could get more if we use our mods on our mask and our chest. We could add some crit chance instead of headshot damage right there, and we'll be up around 40-50%, right? So 2 best in slot items. I just don't want to not use these because damage to armor and damage to out of cover is like the best in my opinion. The mask, you know, the mask is really good, but some enemies have armor, so I don't really mind like not playing with the mask. And this mask right here is very powerful. You get this from the season cash level 35, I believe. And right here you have 25% crit damage to any enemy you hit within 0 to 15 meters. If the enemy is from 15 to 25 meters, you get 10% crit hit damage and critical hit chance. And then if they're further than 25 meters, which sometimes they are for me since I like to snipe a lot, I get that 25% critical hit damage. That's why I try to chill around 40 to 50%, right? With this build right here. And yeah, man, Crusader shield. I tried the other shields. Flamethrower shield is all right, but Crusader works overall best. It allows you to hold that scoped buff, keep it for longer. Reviver Hive, of course. I don't think you want to play without Reviver Hive unless you have like a, you know, specific healer on your team that's just working on keeping you guys alive, right? So that's about it. I don't really have to drag out the video. If you want to use a Baker's M18, by all means, use that Lucky Shot. Lucky Shot doesn't work behind the shield. Neither does Boomerang, from my understanding. So that's why I like to use just my regular gun for a while. And then when I start to get overwhelmed, I'll go ahead and I'll switch to my shield, right? Whenever enemies push up on me. I'll leave you some gameplay right here at the end of the video. But yeah, man, super strong build right now. I highly suggest it if you haven't already made it. I have so many people asking me on Twitch every day, so hopefully this helped you. I think I went over everything, but if I didn't, just leave me a message in the comments below. I'm going to make a guide right now for the season, or the league, excuse me, because I finished my league yesterday. I was just too tired to make a video, so I'll work on that after this. And then I'll refer to this build, so you could choose whichever one you like or whichever pieces you have. And then you could also run these time trials yourself, which is a really cool feature right now in the Division 2. But yeah, thank you for watching the content, and salute, baby. All right, my favorite part of the video. Fuck this game up, bro. Some basic gameplay right here. We are on the heroic mission at the end. And in this encounter, you can see basically I'm just staying in my scope the best I can. You need to be careful when you're staying in your scope, man, because sometimes, especially when you're fighting outcasts, you have enemies that are going to flank you because the veterancy is usually high, especially on heroic. and these enemies try to angle you out. So like make sure nobody's getting on your side or behind you. And a little bit later towards the end of the boss fight right here, you'll see an enemy try to like flank me, and that's basically when I'll use my shield. And right here I'm using technician because I'm leveling it up. That's why I have a 30% scope and not a sharpshooter scope on right now. But I personally like using the technician so far. It's been pretty useful. Right here I don't have the scope on it, but yeah. But yeah, hopefully you guys been enjoying the videos and they've been helping you, man. It's kind of tough to make videos like every day, especially with everything else I have going on. But yeah, man. Yo, so those are all 2 million damage that you just saw. I've hit like up to like 3-4 million with this build, and I'm just starting to get used to it a little bit. That boss just got absolutely demolished, and yeah, I hope this helped.